Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Play UnderRail. This will be part 83 of our Let's Play, and in the last episode we, got a little closer to figuring out what the hell is going on in Foundry, and we figured out that these borers, little bastards that they are the source of, if I can find it, there it is, gizzard enzymes. How good is that? They also drop some oddities or whatever, but that's fine. Some of you may be asking, why is this video, why is this so soon? Well, funny you should ask. My recording failed for RimWorld that was supposed to be today, and I really didn't have the heart to do another hour's worth of recording, so figured I'd pick something a little shorter and make the job easier on myself. But it just means more UnderRail for you guys. And I know UnderRail's pretty popular. You guys seem to enjoy it and seem to watch it, so no skin off my nose. But RimWorld will be back. If you watch RimWorld and you watch this, RimWorld will be back tomorrow. It wasn't like a serious problem with my recording, it was my own stupidity more than anything. My laziness got the better of me. And I suffered for it. And you guys suffer for it, which I hate. I really hate it when you guys suffer because of my stupidity and laziness. So, anyway, enough drab stuff. So I had a bit of a thought, and check the comments. Jean-Luc Picard always steering me in the right direction. So, I am going to need a dog cage, which means I'm going to need tranks. Well, actually, potentially not, I guess. You only needed tranks for burrowers because they run away. Not burrowers, cave hoppers. Yeah, they run away, so that's why you need the trank. I don't think you have to trank them to catch them. Although, possibly you do. Not sure off the top of my head, so we might have to go, like, Jean-Luc Picard thinks, I'm calling you out on this one, he thinks that the general store here sells cages, but if it doesn't, I'm going to have to wander back to our Southgate station anyway. So I've been told I should also get one of the, what are they, the chromium bits? The chromium blades or whatever they are. I should get one of them, apparently. So I'll make sure I do that. Bobby, show me your stuff. You... I don't know where you are. What kind of store are you? Oh! Shit! I called you out, Jean-Luc Picard, and you were dead right. They do sell dog crates. Okay, so I only need the one dog crate. Wait, shit, do you sell trank darts, just in case I do need them? Acid bolt. Trank bolt. Yeah. I'm actually good enough at crossbows now that I probably only need the one. We'll make sure we put it on. Oh shit, actually I've got like 3 left. That's fine by me. Yeah, I had another thought. I sort of sat down and thought about the guy in the prison problem. And what I came up with, how much inventory space do we have? Yeah, we're pretty full, because of the jackhammer, I think. 15. That is pretty weighty. Anyway, I had a thought about the guy in prison, and he said he shot a sniper from a rooftop. Now, I thought, because they said he was a merchant from Core City. So that's why I went to Core City, but I am now thinking that probably wasn't... The crime wouldn't have happened in Core City. The crime had to happen in Foundry. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been imprisoned in Foundry. So, it's possible... I don't know how it's going to help us, but maybe if we find the scene of the crime, we can do something? I mean, something shady's going on. But I don't know. maybe we can... Like, some shady's going on. But he absolutely did it, so I don't know where that leaves us. Because we can't really prove that he didn't do it. Maybe we can plant something at a crime scene, but I don't know what we would plant, though. I don't know. I'm like trying to think, but I'm coming up empty on that. Finding the crime scene is about all I've got at the moment. So after we grab this stuff and dump it off at Southgate Station, we might come back and start looking around on rooftops. And see if we can't find the scene of the crime where he was set up. Maybe there's something there. Maybe he wrote a note, maybe he smoked a cigarette, who knows, but maybe there's something we can find. Maybe he did smoke a cigarette, right? And we can find the cigarette and plant it somewhere else. Okay, yeah, it doesn't work. So let's trank him. Come here, little midget. Okay. So that's done. We will... Oh, probably don't have enough. It's fine. Yoink. That's it. That's all I wanted. Right, we do want a chromium blade or whatever it is. And I wouldn't say no to more gizzard enzymes if they're here. Salivariums are okay too, I guess. Yeah, so if we have our power fist out, we're not overweight. We also have some rat hound barbecue still, don't we? Do we? Ooh, maybe not. Okay. Oh no, we do. Everything looks... It's one of the complaints I have about this game, that this screen, I don't know how you would improve this, but everything looks a bit jumbled. Like, even if I know what I'm looking for in terms of, like, the picture, that doesn't help me. It sort of all gets jumbled up. It's in no kind of order. Like, I can sort it, but that doesn't really help either, to be honest. And, like, I just completely lost the rat hound barbecue. Where the fuck did it go? There, it's in the middle. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously these are good, but the categories are a bit vague. I don't know. Maybe no one else has that problem. Maybe it's just me. I have a jackhammer. So I'll just break up one of these, I guess. It's just as easy. Assuming... Oh, it's a bladeling anyway, so that's handy. I was going to say that I don't think it needs to be a bladeling, but... Yeah, I'll beat you to death. It'll take me a while, but I'll do it. Okay, so I need, yeah, one of those impure chromium blades. The blading's eye is shielded by tough, glossy black plate. It is uncertain what the purpose of this plate is, but the eye vitreous humor that separates the plate and the eye seems to possess certain characteristics of a psi-catalyst. Interesting. I just want one. It's going to put me overweight. Bummer. Radhound Barbecue, are you going to save me? Yes, you are. Excellent. Very, very excellent. Shit, I can turn the shield off. Whoops. And we'll charge you up. We'll use fusion cells. We won't go straight to the plasma. It's a bit of a waste. Whatever that is. I mean, if that's plasma, that's a fusion cell. Must just be like a large fusion cell, maybe? Whatever they've added. I don't know. Anyway, so we have to go back to Southgate Station. We'll do that first, then we'll come back. And look for the scene of this crime. Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe, I don't know, you find the scene of the crime, you like, they haven't secured it or something, and you can like, find some sort of evidence that he was there. And you could just plant it on someone else, maybe? That's what I'm thinking, anyway. That's the assumption I'm going to run with. That's what we're running with. It seems like something this game would do. Wow, these loading screens are hefty in Foundry, by the way. Like, the loading screens in general in this game aren't massive, but they are getting pretty big in Foundry. I guess it's a really busy area, lots of stuff going on, lots of effects, that kind of thing. Would love to make I would love to make an RPG like this one day. Like, the classic sort of tile-based RPG where, you know, it looks pretty and everything, but ultimately all you're doing is moving along, like, square tiles in an isometric view. You know, like, this has really nice graphics and animations and everything, but ultimately I'm just a couple of bits of data walking along squares, and the squares are programmed with what they are. If that makes sense. Like, I would love to make a classic isometric RPG like this game, and I think that's why I enjoy it so much. It's like a game that I would make. If I had the talent, had the skill, this is a game I would make. It's also why I criticize it a lot, because, like, you criticize games you like. Yeah, you criticize games you don't like as well, but if you can't criticize a game you like, then you're blind or dumb. Like, every game has problems, every game has issues. Does that make it worse for it? Not necessarily, but if you can't admit that a game's full of flaws, then, like, that's you being an idiot, not the game being bad. Just because you like a game, if someone else criticizes it, that doesn't make them wrong. I wanted to ask you about some odd creatures that are plaguing Foundry at the moment. I thought you might know some. Foundry? Sure. Can you describe these creatures to me? There are these worm-like things with weird heads shaped like small drills. I'm just going to go straight for these first, because I've got a live one. Drills? I've seen a fair share of odd beings, but one with drill for a head? Never in my lifetime. Could you catch one, if that's possible? I'll have to take a look at the creature. And you too need some answers, or else you wouldn't be talking to me in the first place, I've captured one of the worms. Quentin inspects the creature as it squirms inside the crate. As soon as it spots him, the creature begins thrashing about, occasionally stopping to aim its head at him and screech in an act of desperate intimidation. So it's scared of Quentin. What is up with Quentin? Now this is what I'm talking about. I'd like to take a look at it. Anything I should know before opening the crate? How dangerous is it? You've got nothing to worry about. I handle it with my bare hands. He carefully grabs the creature, holding it firmly as it wriggles in his hands. He takes a good look at it, charmed by its oddity and alien form before he turns to you. Please wait while I examine it. This won't take long. The creature suddenly makes a few powerful motions, wailing its unheld ends, and shakes Quentin's upper body and prompting him to even spread his legs a bit in order to maintain proper balance. He is able to control it, however. This one's a fighter. Yeah, dice him up. Chop him up, open him up. You wait while Quentin completes his examination, observing him as he performs it with great focus and care. How after only a few minutes he makes it seem as if he had been handling these creatures for years. Slowly and steadily he finishes the examination, places the creature back into its mobile jail, turns to you, but only to inform you that he needs to leave and do one more test. The two are gone for a while. Soon he returns to you with a genuine smile on his face, overflowing with excitement. He wastes no time. I'm back, UnderRail. Hope I didn't fall asleep waiting for me. You seem happy. Hope you've got something good for me. You'll see. First, without dissecting the creature, which I would never do without consulting you, I can tell you a couple of things I've learned so far. Their heads do appear to be used for actual drilling. Even though I haven't been able to see it in action yet, obviously, the combination of the unique shape of the head and the surprisingly powerful musculature makes me feel that it engages its whole body during the process. Maybe it, say, rotates itself in short bursts. Maybe it coils up and releases the energy in that manner. I'm just speculating. What is fact, though, is that the head is very, very tough, so I have no doubt that it can bore through hard material without much of an issue. As for the rest of the creature's body, it is segmented and has a decently thick skin covering what appear to be very soft, delicate scales, or at least something similar to it. As in snakes, it probably helps them move, possibly to retain moisture too. The skin is also highly sensitive, which makes sense for a creature limited in ways it can acquire information about its environment. There are a few other details about it, but those are quite minor and uninteresting. Now, what I did was a quick superficial examination. I need to dissect the creature to really tell you more about its anatomy, however I saved the good stuff for last. I decided to do some psi readings. That is why I left the room earlier. and the readings were off the charts. In fact, the creatures exhibit a psi signature so strong that I'm surprised it does not have some defensive psi abilities at its disposal. However, the signature is also incredibly complex. I'm not ashamed of telling you, even I am having problems interpreting it. He shrugs. I'm afraid that analysing it is well above my skill level, but I'm absolutely 100% positive that understanding this psi signature will not only help you on your, for lack of a better word, quest, but also pave way to engrossing scientific discoveries, for those of us who care, if nothing else. So there, that's all I have for you. Okay, so what did we learn? They have psi signatures, but not to the strength that they have defensive psi abilities, so maybe it's a communication. So maybe they talk to the bladelings, and that's why the bladelings are attacking. That is all very interesting. Regarding the psi signature, do you know anyone I can take this lava to? Well, as far as psi... Why'd you just call it a lava? What if the borers, what if they're like baby bladelings? They did say they found them in like chromium deposits, right? So what if they like bore into a chromium deposit, eat the chromium, and grow into a bladeling? And that's why bladelings are like chromium. That's why they look like chromium deposits. It's just interesting they would call it a lava suddenly, rather than just like a worm. I know lava is like a kind of generic term, but it's usually associated with like a juvenile form of something else. As far as Psi in general is concerned, Ezra is the top expert in Southgate Station, so he is the right person to bring the critter to. If he can't help you, then you're stuck. Yeah, well, he hands you the crate back. Here, captivating little thing this is. Feisty. I'll bring this to him then, thanks. Okay, now let's talk about the other thing. About those mine creatures from Foundry. There are these highly aggressive quadrupedal creatures, most easily recognized by shells made of rock with metallic blades protruding from their backs. Ever seen anything like that? Never, but it sounds really intriguing. I'd remember it, that's for sure. If you could bring me some part of the creature or a live specimen, then I'd be more than happy to share anything I learn with you. Ah, okay, so this is why we want the chromium blade, gotcha. Have a piece of the rock creature. Let me see. Quentin inspects the piece you gave him. Fascinating. As if you detached this from a piece of machinery, and not a living, breathing creature. This is from its back, right? Is that what you said? Yes, judging by the placement, their function is purely a defensive one. A few of these might be found on the tail, but considering how short it is, I doubt in its effectiveness as an offensive weapon. Yes. Do you have any information on its predators, if any? What kind of a predator would it take for a creature to develop these quite unprecedented defense mechanisms? What eats a creature encased in a rock shell and is covered with metal spikes? Unless that's it. Unless the borers are the predator. And we're just scaring them away. Because a borer could do it. They could eat through. I haven't seen any predators or noticed signs thereof. What if they're at the top of the food chain? If they're fungivores, then perhaps, as it would be hard to imagine creatures of such weight, and they have to be heavy built like this, chasing down or ambushing their prey. Natural selection would not favour them, I don't think. But again, why the shell? The blades? I mean, it could be a way to attract females, as using vast resources to impress one is not uncommon in the animal world, or the human world. But it's still a bit too far-fetched. No, don't think that is the case here. Back to the blade in hand. Well, this is what I can tell you about the creature by looking at this. So they have a primarily defensive purpose, just like we talked. Now I see no cavities or canals for nerves or blood vessels to go through, or to accommodate any kind of organic matter. To illustrate what I mean, I'll take our very bones as an example. We grow our bones through a process called ossification. Do you know what that is? Well, I don't, but apparently TheOzzieNerd does. Yes, specialized cells produce calcium which synthesizes bones. Exactly. Now, bone tissue is usually composed of a mineral matrix which contains these cells, and bones themselves are composed of approximately 70% mineral content. This blade here, this is one solid piece of metal. No organic matter whatsoever, no porosity, and no traces that this grew out of a living being. How does it grow then? That I don't know. tooth enamel, for instance, is almost completely made of hydroxylapatite. Hydroxylapatite. Oh, it was so close. A kind of calcium phosphate, with the rest being water and a hint of organic matter. Enamel is formed within the gums before the tooth grows out, so there is a possibility that this blade is formed within the shell and grows out later. But how? I don't know. Right now I can only make speculations. Here, take this blade back. If you want to test its composition, better have that done by someone who is not a biologist. That's for sure. A smile lifts his mask slightly up. If you can bring me any other part of the creature, or a live specimen, then we have ourselves a winner. This, however, I'm sorry, this is all fascinating in any case. I'll get going now. See you later when I learn something new. So, who else could analyze it? Obviously, we'll go talk to Ezra first, but... So, not a biologist, so maybe, it is made of chromium, maybe like a geologist? Mineralogist? Hello, UnderRail. Could you take a look at this for me? Ezra looks at the restless creature, now at the apex of its aggravation. He focuses on it in silence, and as moments pass, the creature becomes more and more calm. Slowly but surely, it reaches a point of complete tranquility and motionlessness, on account of which one could easily mistake it for being dead. Ezra? He turns to you. Where did you find this creature? In a mine in Foundry. Interesting. Are there any other creatures living among or in close proximity to these? Yes, creatures with shells made of rock that have metallic blades on their backs. Those are the only ones, as far as I know. He speaks, but more to himself than you. I see. Another adaptation. Makes sense. And you, why are you so interested in this subject? Foundry is having difficulties with those creatures, as they are infesting their mine, but the real problem is the beast. A creature identical to what I described, but much larger, tougher, and much meaner. As yet, there doesn't seem to be an apparent way to kill it. The creature, because of its heavy armor, is practically invulnerable. Nearly all who faced it lost their lives. So you want to find a way to kill it. Very well. I understand everything now. I'll tell you what you need to know. The creature you brought me is actually the larval form of the rock creature you described. Yes! As strange as that may seem, yes, these are their larvae. I've encountered them in the past, in different forms, though. Regardless, I can help you find this adaptation's weakness. But for that, you will have to bring me some part of the creature to analyze. Try to bring me a piece of its shell or back blades if you can. If not, then bring whatever you're able to acquire. Oh, okay, so Ezra will do it. You mentioned something about adaptations. What did you mean precisely? You see, the larva uses its psi energy to cocoon itself inside living or non-living entities, tailor its genetic makeup to support the organism's further development in accordance with what it's merging with. Inside, the larva develops into its adult form, and the resulting creature is fully integrated with the entity of choice. So if the creature wants a rock shell, it will dig itself into a rock and fuse with it. Do you know what these creatures are called? Psi-enhanced polymorphic organisms, or psimorphs for short. How come you know so much about these creatures? Knowledge like this does not arrive with merely encountering something. I've learned quite a few things throughout the years. There are bits and pieces of knowledge and history everywhere you look, and over time things simply accumulate. You are awfully mysterious, Ezra. First, I ask you to tell me you don't know about Wyatt Pear, and now this. And yet, you seem like you have an answer for everything else I ask you. No one has an answer to everything. No one should have an answer to everything. Life would be dull otherwise. I'd like to return to the topic at hand now. I have a piece of one right here. Let me see it. I'll be right back. He takes a sample from you and leaves the room. Interesting. Yeah, so it's the larval form, but it's really cool that they can turn into whatever they want, judging by, depending on what they cocoon into. Ezra returns shortly. Just as I suspected. Discover anything interesting? I managed to analyze the composition of this impure chromium blade, and I emphasize this because over 90% of it is indeed chromium. But that you already know. However, what you didn't know is that it is the other 10% that differentiate vermin from a walking apocalypse. Foundry is very unfortunate in having their surrounding rock made up of some of the hardest minerals in nature, for it is these materials which together form the living armor of these creatures. And I'm not just talking about their shell, no, it is their whole bodies which are comprised of these metals and minerals, albeit in varying quantities depending on the section, of course. Chromium is in itself a resistant metal, but its strength lies in its high heat resistance. The rest of the materials serve to counteract mechanical forces acting upon the organism. It appears that in small creatures, this robustness can be overcome by conventional means, if barely. In the beast, I suggest you return to Foundry and tell them to collapse the cave where it lives and abandon them altogether. But that isn't an option, or else you wouldn't be here. Luckily, there is a way. By my calculations, and I've taken all the approximate constituent elements found inside the sample into consideration, the temperature necessary to melt these creatures' shell should be at least 2,500 degrees centigrade. Ironically, considering chromium is practically the essence of these creatures, this seems to be the most realistic way to defeat it, as Foundry is likely to have some means, be it a furnace or something else, which can melt chromium, hence producing temperatures this high. What about plasma weapons? How come these are ineffective against the beast when plasma can reach insane temperatures? When all molecules are ionized, yes, plasma can reach, theoretically, temperatures in the range of billions of degrees. However, most conventional plasma weapons we have today use plasma where only a fraction of gas molecules are ionized. There are three primary reasons for this. First one is a technological limitation. The second is power consumption. And the third is the fact that the shooter does not want to be evaporated together with everything else around him when firing this weapon. So it seems I'm going to need a way to lure the beast into Foundry and kill it there. Anything you can do to help me with the luring part? And what will you do once it's in Foundry? Do you have a plan? I don't know exactly, yet, but the fact of the matter is that I still need to lure it somehow. I don't have many other options. Remember what I told you? The composition of minerals and metals in its shell makes it highly resistant to mechanical forces and high temperature. However, I'm sure you'll be able to find something there that will produce more than 2,500 degrees necessary to kill it. It is Foundry, after all. I happen to know from previous research how these creatures communicate. With the larval form you brought me, I think I'll be able to create a device which will be able to use to summon the creature. At least it should. What do you mean, it should? This is an improvised device that I'm making out of components I have at hand. Things can go awry. Maybe it'll summon the creature you want, maybe it'll summon something else. You won't know until you press the button. Making the device shouldn't take long. Shouldn't take long though. I believe I already have all the necessary components right here. Wait some more, would you? It's getting interesting. Here it is. Try your best not to disturb the lava within the device too much. You need it to be alive for the device to function properly. See you later. Okay, how are we looking on weight? Okay, hang on. Can I extract humus from the eyeball thing? Yes. Flat beaker required. I don't have a flat beaker. I will go up and get one, just to see what this is for. Okay, it looks like we won't make it back to Foundry in this episode. We might. Depends how long I take, I guess. Which we'll probably try and sell some stuff, so we probably won't make it back in this episode. Give me a flat beaker. In fact, let's just get all the flat beakers, because we're going to need them at some point. Here, have some napalm. 3 chemicals, and have 2 crawler poison. Why not? Although, I have lots of syringes, so let's make some chemical bolts. Bloop, bloop, bloop. We've got borrow poison? Sure. Cave here? Nah. That's all we got. Okay, well. We'll do it just because I can sell it. Right, you can't take anything out of or off my hands. Extract here. There we go. Black vitreous. Ladling's eye vitreous humour, particularly one that separates... No, it's the same thing. Black vitreous, what are you good for? Psi stuff, apparently, but who knows. We'll go back to the armory, we'll see what we can do. See what we can drop off. So we can sell. We're going to be a bit aggressive with our selling. Like, we might sell the kukri. Actually, no, we won't sell the kukri, we'll store the kukri, because we're not going to use it for a long, long time. Wow, you don't want anything from me. Unfortunate. Okay, we'll go private quarters. We'll just drop some stuff off in the private quarters, maybe. Hopefully that will free up our shit a little bit. Locker, empty. This one's not. This is full of stuff. Actually, there's friggin' lithium cells in there. Gee. Should have got that ages ago. Is there anything here we want? I don't think so. Actually, insectoid saliva's always good. Adrenaline will take. Morphine will take. But that's probably everything we need. I think so. Alright. What can we dump off? Does it sort by multiple things? No. Okay. Doctor's coat, don't need. Okay, cloaking device, I love you, but I haven't used you much, so I'm not going to bother. Not for now. It's okay, insectoid saliva, we have tons. Frag mines, you know what? Let's just put them away. Kukri, put that away. Shiv, we'll put it away. Jackhammer we'll hang on to because we kind of need it. Wow, there's actually not that much stuff we can dump. Put some grenades away. 189, that's still heaps. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Right, what about all these components we can't use? Okay, coal, that can go away. Bonding agent, can't even use it, no point keeping it. Same with electronic scraps, fabric scraps, metal scraps. Okay, we're approaching something doable. This balaclava can rack off, ours is better. That's honestly probably about all we can get rid of. Oh, this can go. Any other quest items we don't need? Broken thermostat, mutagen D5. I'll put it away just for now. New protein sequences. Okay, I'll hang on to that. It's just a thingy. It's just a flash drive, it's easy to get rid of. Bates love letter, that can go away. I don't want to take away any of these stupid key cards in case I lock myself out of somewhere I need to go. Okay, taurine, you can go away. Have a lot of insectoid saliva, not a lot of blood. In fact, you know what? Yeah, we'll put it all away. What are we at? 179. Well, that's under. It is under our regular strength. So that might have to be enough. It's mainly the grenades, I think. Yeah, so that's like 3, 3, 3, yeah. Lots of grenades. Oh, and all the TNT. Holy shit. Let's hang on to 2 of them. And the rest of them can just live here for the time being, and that'll put us way under, yeah. Much better. Okay, in that case, we'll take the blood and the saliva back. Saliva? There's like 20 of it. Did we not put it away? No, we didn't. Whoops. We put away the gyrometron, that's right. And we could take it and just sell the things, but... Okay, we'll take the taurine. Take the gyrometron. And that puts us 165, which is pretty alright. Gives us a little bit of space to pick stuff up. I'm going to look through here real quick and just see if there's anything we can make. Like that. We just need unsaturated psionic catalyst, which we do have. So, let's make a trans. Boom. Pretty sure it's of no use to us at all, but maybe it will be okay. Siren Invigorator. No, we can't make that. We don't have Statolith, whatever that is. Morphine Shot. We can probably just make some of those. Jumping Bean. Organic Gel Electrolyte. We don't have that. Gizzard Enzymes and Taurine. Just all biological damage taken by 75%. That's probably not too bad. Probably not too bad. Health Hypo, we probably don't have enough. We can do 1. Focus Stim. Taurine Blood, Raw Adrenaline. We could do that. We absolutely could have done that. Flashbang. Bullhead. Morphine. Nida Mental Gel. I don't know where to get that. Aegis. Shit, we could absolutely make that. probably not smart to like use up all my gizzard enzymes, but we know where we can get more. At least until we like extinctify those ones. Now, I am going to finish up the episode any second now. What I want to do first is find the get a bit more blood. A bit more blood, which you don't sell just straight up blood. But we'll get some of these. We'll get some of these. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. What's his name might sell some though. Quinton. There might be some downstairs. Sorry, like, once again, spent ages and ages on a shopping trip instead of doing productive shit, but we had to trade out some gear. Like, we had to get rid of it. Okay, yes, you do have blood. Excellent. That's what we want. Some powder. Yeah, okay, so you don't have anything else that's really what we want. Would be interesting to do a chemical type build. It's like using the chemical pistol and, you know, making bombs and stuff. Could be interesting. I bet you that requires trapping, but anyway. We'll grab some stuff. Yeah, just do that. Yeah, whatever. It's pretty cheap. Right. Extract humors, we'll get this out of the way and done. No, not the flat beaker. And it was a focus stim we needed to make, right? Okay. Right, and that is where we're going to leave the episode for now. So thank you very much everyone for watching. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more content from me, the Aussie Nerd, feel free to subscribe to my channel. If you think you know any friends that might enjoy my content, make sure you share a video to with them. Really appreciate it. And finally, if you want to leave any hints, tips, tricks, feedback, or you just want to say hi, make sure you do so in the comments section down below so that I can see it. I'll see all of you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.